From Brand Viva Media Studios, it's Adam Contos. Start with a win. How you doing, producer Mark?
I'm doing so good.
Awesome. Hey, I'm really excited about today's guest. This is a longtime friend of mine, an amazing business leader, one of our friends from Canada. So tell us about my friend Gary here.
Yeah, Gary Mauris is the co-founder and president and CEO of Dominion Lending Centers, CEO of Mortgage Center Canada, and chairman of Mortgage Architects. Together, these companies account for almost 40% of all broker-originated mortgages in Canada. He is a serial entrepreneur, having sold 2 prior companies in the public market, which is amazing. And Gary also has led multiple social initiatives as the co-founder and president of the I Am Someone Ending Bullying Society, and recently co-founded Bikes for Kids, a national program that collects new bicycles for underprivileged children across Canada. Wow.
Awesome.
Welcome to Start With a Win.
Hey, brother, how are you?
Hey, guys, I'm great. Great to see you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's my pleasure. It's great to have you on. Great to see your face. You're looking really, really good. I just have to start with that. Let's dig into your business background. So, 2006, I think you started DLC, right? Dominion Lending.
You betcha.
Okay, so I mean, you and your business partner. I mean, what did that look like? You guys just sit down and go, "Hey, let's take over the country in mortgage," or I mean, how'd you get there?
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting story. I mean, I had just sold a previous company. I was not semi-retired. I was looking for something else to do, of course, but I wasn't working at the time. And I had a vacation home in Palm Springs, California. And my neighbor was actually a mortgage broker for Washington Mutual, for WAMU back then. And, I talked to him one day just having a Corona in the backyard. And he said to me, 60 to 70% of all loans in the U.S. were originated through a mortgage broker. And I found that very interesting because, it was much, much less in Canada. So that night I went home, I was thinking about it the next morning. I was still thinking about it. So I called the only guy I knew, who's now my business partner today, who was actually in the mortgage space, had a very small mortgage company, just really to support his Royal LePage office. And I said, hey, listen, I think there might be an opportunity in Canada. And of course, my mindset, Adam, was whatever happens in the US, whether it's fashion or fabric or music or, business, typically will eventually happen in Canada. We follow just a few years behind. And that was really the germination of Dominion Lending Centers.
I mean, this is not a business where you just walked in and you said, hey, magic business dust sprinkled across Canada. Now I have, 750 or so locations and over 8,000 people in those. You collected a lot of those one at a time through growing business relationships. Is that correct?
Yeah, we sure did. I mean, our company growth has always been made up of organic growth. I have a team of recruiters that work every single day, 5 days a week, 8-10 hours a day, that are just dialing competitors, mortgage professionals, and saying, have you had a look at what we're doing at our company? We're number 1 in the country. We'd love to show you. And then along the way, we did some tuck-ins, we made some acquisitions, but still today, as CEO of the group, I still spend a little time every single day personally recruiting. It keeps me very, very connected. I work with all my sales guys across the country. In business, it's very funny, right? They say, if you're not growing, you're dying. You're attracting or you're repelling, right? So business is not like a tree. A tree doesn't get to a certain age. Right? I'm sorry, business is like a tree. A tree doesn't get to a certain age and stop growing. It either grows and then it starts declining. It starts dying. And it's the exact same thing in business. So obviously that retention and that ongoing recruiting has to be the lifeblood of our business.
So you've had this is an endurance sport, obviously. You're in love with the process of recruiting, of growing, and you've been doing that in this business since 2006. The early days couldn't have been easy, were they? You had to face a lot of hard times. Yeah. I mean, 25.
You know what? I mean, I don't think it's ever easy. I mean, here we are 16 years later and it's not easy. It's one of those things where I call it the test of time. If you can withstand, sort of difficult periods for a long period of time, you're going to eventually win. In the early days, it was ugly. I mean, we were ridiculed. People made fun of us. These guys are never going to make it. I got a lot of people saying good luck, and in that tone, not in the nice way, which would be good luck, like this guy hasn't got a hope. A lot of it was just passion, right? I always use that negativity to fuel my drive. every time someone said to me something that was negative or spoke, poorly about us or discounted us as a competitor, I mean, I doubled down. I went home and I made 30 more phone calls to their agents, to the industry. I just really use that to, keep us focused. And today we still use that negative, innuendo as our passion, as our fuel to, help us continue to do good things.
We see a lot of people that, a lot of business leaders that get some sort of a burnout. They're like, oh, everybody just continuously hates me. When is the win? When is the, when does it all stop and it all becomes smooth sailing and tailwinds and life is great? I mean, so I think we all know the answer to this, CEO to CEO. It never becomes that paradise and utopia that everybody's looking for in life. So you fall in love with the process, not the result. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
How do
that's exactly it, right? I mean, listen, it's almost like a liberating experience to sort of get to a position in your life where you feel like, hey, I know for the rest of my life, disruption, breakdown, chaos, destruction is going to happen. It's going to happen. There's always another bus looking to run us over in some area of our life. And as soon as you understand that, this is part of life and that's it, and it never gets easier, it's quite liberating, because when something does happen, it doesn't decimate you. It doesn't devastate you. You just go, okay, I was kind of expecting this, and you carry on. It's funny. It's in many ways, it's so simple. I mean, number one, I always say to people, one of the easiest wealth secrets ever in the world is speed of response. People are so used to people, like saying they're going to do one thing and then not doing it. So I made a commitment from day one. When I say something, I deliver it. I do it every time. So if I say I'm going to call you at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'm going to call you at 9, not 9:15, not 8:45, not the next day. I'm not going to send you an email and say, hey, I can't get to it today. If I say something is due, I'm going to deliver a proposal. It's going to be there by Thursday at 2 o'clock. It has to be there Thursday at 2 o'clock. Relationships are absolutely vital. They're the most important thing in my life. I mean, still today, and it's gotten easier, but I still spend at least 30 minutes every single day on social media, because on social media, everyone I know, they're on one social media channel or the other. And it's so easy for me to pop in and see what they're saying on their feed and make a comment and check in, see how they are, send them a message. I can broadcast very quickly to a large group of people, but I can interact on what they're doing in their day as well. So, it's just, I always had this belief that get rid of the swagger. We're not saving dying children. Go to work, be humble, put your head down, outwork everyone. And I think, in a lot of ways, it really has been, that simple. For me, I didn't care if I saw you came riding in on a bicycle or you came driving in a Mercedes. I gave nobody more time. The best idea came from the best idea. Didn't matter if it was my receptionist, didn't matter if it was someone I just met, right? We have no hierarchy. Our business was very flat and continues to be today. And, the fact of getting back to somebody and saying something thoughtful and kind and empowering to them that might, make them say, wow, that was really kind of him, has been sort of the staple of how we built our business. And because of it, we have this loyal following, this raving fans. There's three things that kill a relationship: being aloof, indifferent, or dismissive. If you're running your business and you're aloof because you just think things are going on, I haven't got time, sorry, or you're dismissive, oh, it's not a big deal, or you're indifferent, like you don't take a side, or you haven't got the focus on, to listen to what somebody's saying to you. If you're either one of those three things, your relationship and your business is in big trouble.
Wow, some major leadership principles here from Gary Mauris, CEO, founder of Dominion Lending. You're a great friend. You're a great leader. A man of intention. Gary, I have one question I ask every one of our guests on this show, and I'm sure you have an amazing answer to this, and that is, how do you start your day with a win?
Interesting. I've sort of changed a lot. I mean, I'm really focused now on my sleep, trying to get 8 hours of sleep every single night. And then when I get up, I find that I have lots to unload. So the first thing I do every single morning is I just find a very, very quiet spot, right? And I grab, a book that I'm reading, or maybe I want to read a chapter or something. And I just sit down with a hot cup of coffee and a good book for 15 or 20 minutes every single day. And then usually I follow it by either my yoga session or a walk, or a 60-minute walk outside. And for me, it's just something that, has become sort of second nature for me. I like that nourishment early in the morning with reading something that I'm reading. I'm reading all about plant-based eating right now, and and a lot of, like heart health books and that sort of stuff. And, that quiet time first thing in the morning followed by yoga or a long walk is vital to me. It's very important.
Awesome. Great information, Gary. Great advice from an amazing leader. Thank you so much for being on Start With a Win, and I look forward to seeing you soon, my friend.
Adam, listen, I've known you for a long time, and I've gotten to know you really well in the last few years. You were an exceptional leader. You're just way more important than that. You're just such a good human being. You absolutely care. So I appreciate you having me on today. Mark, really good to meet you. And continue to do the great work, guys, that you continue to do. Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome.
And thank you for listening to Start With a Win. If you haven't yet, subscribe. Click on that subscribe button, and then you'll get episodes every single Wednesday. And for more great content, head over to adamcontos.com and sign up for the Leadership Factory. You won't want to miss out. Until next time, remember, start with a win.
We're on YouTube now.
We are. We're on the show after the show. After the party, there's the after party.
The after party.
Gary, welcome to the after party.
That was fun, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for being on the show and just sharing some of your positivity and wisdom with us. I mean, it's just fantastic to just, hear that mindset. It's just really encouraging. One question I had for you, when was that switch, or what happened to where you said, man, I want to be in charge of my own destiny?
Kind of early on. I mean, I was one of those kids where I always had 2 or 3 part-time jobs all through high school. I could go and knock on doors any day and
not afraid of hard work.
And get 2 or 3 jobs. Where it really switched for me very quickly is I was 18 years old. My older brother, I left home very young, and I'd left home the year before. My older brother was working at a Ford dealership. And he came in, he said to me, hey, Gary, I want you to help me bring in new customers. So there used to be something called the Auto Trader. It was a magazine. If you were selling your vehicle, you put it in the Auto Trader. So I would literally go to work every single day, and I would call the very first person in the Auto Trader, and I'd call every person in the Auto Trader. I'm calling about your Honda CRX.
Wow.
How old is it? How many kilometers? Why are you selling it? Why are you selling it? And they say to me, well, actually, we need a bigger family van, right? We had an extra kid now, so we're selling it. I go, great. I'm actually with Coastal Ford, and we have a client in here that's been in here earlier this week now. We've been trying to find a van. Would you mind bringing trying to find out, they're trying to find a Honda CRX. Would you mind bringing it in? We'll have a look at it. And who knows, maybe we can actually help you trade it in or pay your higher value into that new van. All of a sudden, I started bringing in like 3-4 clients a day just by outbound calling at a very young age.
That's awesome.
And the sales manager, a guy by the name of Gary Dirksen, one night said to me, hey, he said, there's a guy by the name of Joe Girard, #1 car salesman in the world. He's speaking in Vancouver tonight. I'd like you to be my guest. I was 18 years old. And I went and saw this guy, speak. And it was like, boom, fireworks. All of a sudden, my passion for personal development was ignited. And then that was it. I took and I consumed all of it constantly. And from that day, forward, I soon worked for them full time, not for my brother. And as long as I was in the car business, I was never number 2. I was always number 1. I went on to become the top Ford salesman in Canada.
Oh, that's
out
awesome.
of 6,000 agents.
That is an awesome story.
That is a great story. Well, hey, thanks so much for sticking around with us and hanging out. And if you've been watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Click that subscribe button and then the thumbs up icon. If this was valuable to you, hit the thumbs up icon and then the bell icon so you get notified every single time a new episode drops. We release episodes every single Wednesday and quick wins every other Thursday. Until next time, we'll see you when we see you.